What's up, guys? Phil here from RedEye Gaming, and this is Assetto Corsa version 1.2. This is my first impressions video of it, and I can be put into two words: hell yeah. And right here we are on the Zandvoort circuit, which was just added today. I'm driving the Ferrari GT2 car. I'm driving with GT2 and GT3 cars, and I just wanted to show you how the AI reacts. I didn't want to race any of the road cars that came with it because I don't like racing road cars. Anyway, look at this AI. It is so much better. They actually race you and race each other. I know, it's crazy, right? But no, this AI has improved so much, as you will see throughout this video as they're racing. I mean, look at that. They're going 3 wide there almost, you know, and they're taking different lines. And now I gotta run on him because he was slow through that corner. He seemed to, I guess, see me coming. He didn't move over into my way, which was good. But yeah, driving the Ferrari here, the GT2 car. Once again, there are GT2 and GT3 cars on track. In fact, I think the only GT2 cars are the Ferrari, the Corvette, and the BMW M3 GT2. Every other car on here is a GT3 car. I'm not very familiar with this circuit, Zandvoort. I haven't had a lot of time at it in any game, let alone this game as I just got it. And this corner is incredibly tricky. It's hard to get that corner right, and the AI seems to always be able to outbrake me, which, as you will see later in the video, really comes to not be good for me. So, Assetto Corsa, version 1.2, I feel like they have just taken a huge step in the right process. I mean, the biggest thing I've noticed, now, this is coming from someone who, I didn't even have this game installed on my computer. I have had this game since very early access. I've had it for a long time, and recently I haven't even had it installed. I think the last time I played this was right when the DLC came out with the Nordschleife, just because laser scan Nordschleife, right? But yeah, I didn't even have this game installed. Woke up today, saw they were doing an update, and I'm so glad that I reinstalled it and got this update because it has been so much fun. I will be going over all the cars that came with the pack that came out today, but I didn't really feel like any of those street cars fit this circuit, and I kind of wanted to show you how the AI works with a race car and not with street cars. So, that being said, also the force feedback. Now, see guys, like I said, I haven't had this game installed since probably March. You know, haven't played it since then. The force feedback is amazing. I don't know what they did, but it is great. I don't know if it's part of their new tire model, or if it's just, you know, their force feedback is better now. I mean, I didn't even change any settings. This is the default settings that come when you first install the game, and I'm using a Thrustmaster T300. And I can say it feels so much better. You know, some of my main complaints with this game before this update were, one, the AI were terrible. You couldn't even race them. As you see, here comes a guy, he's going down my inside. Because I got a bad run out of that corner, and he was actually willing to go right down my inside, and he actually races side by side with me here. Great to see. You know, they're starting to make a lot of progress with the AI here. And I will say the AI is raceable. You know, my two main complaints with this game were just that the AI wasn't raceable, in my mind, because they didn't race each other, and they didn't really race you. It just wasn't a race. Like, they just kind of got in line and did whatever. They didn't really do anything. Also, the force feedback. There were certain cars in this game that the force feedback was well done on, but then there were certain cars, especially the race cars, where I just felt nothing. I couldn't tell you, you know, what was going on with the tires or the cars, or if I was spinning or if I was about to spin. Now it's done a 180. I mean, I feel like everything through my wheel. As you see a car going around my outside, once again, new AI, and I think the guy behind me bumped me. I think the AI is telling me to get out of their way because I'm slow. I'm guessing that's what they're doing. But yeah, the force feedback is just, it's done a 180. It does everything really that I would want out of force feedback in a game. I can feel everything, how the weight transfers, how the wheels grip up coming into a corner. You know, if I'm locking a wheel, I can feel that specific wheel drag because of how you can feel the weight transferring in the force feedback. It is just, you know, great. I can't say enough good things about the force feedback. As you see right there, bam, right up my inside. I'm pretty much at this just holding up the whole train here, and they're all just eventually going to pass me, I think, because I'm really slow. Like I said, don't have a lot of experience at this track, and I think I left the AI on like 96 or 97%, which, seeing that they only go up to 100% in this game, probably should have turned them down, but whatever. At least we're getting somewhat of a race in this video. Although I did just get passed by a GT3 car in a GT2 car. But we'll just pretend that didn't happen. And we're going to chase him down, right? Yeah, that's the mindset. We'll chase him down. But yeah, guys, the force feedback. And I've tried the Corvette and the Ferrari GT2, both of which my main complaints were, what is the car doing? Like, I never understood what the car was doing because I felt nothing in the force feedback. And now it's incredibly lively. I can catch slides. I can, you know, oversteer and catch it. You know, I can feel the understeer when it's happening, when you know, why it's happening. I can feel when I'm locking a wheel into the corners, you know, especially with the GT2 cars, they don't have ABS. Just wonderfully done. I really have to just commend Kunos. The force feedback is just wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And now to the circuit. Once again, laser scanned, as with all of the circuits in this game that are, you know, officially licensed. Obviously, there's third party that are not. But this is just, it's wonderfully done. You know, I love the, you know, the changes in direction and height and just. I mean, this is a cool circuit, and it's very well done. Like I said, I'm not very familiar with the track, but considering with the other games that I had seen it in, this is just, you know, top notch, well done. Once again, I don't think I would expect anything else from the tracks, at least. You know, every track that Kunos has done has been extremely well done. I will give them that. The problem in the past was that it was, at least for me, it was a hot lap simulator. You know, it was, you know, you could drive by yourself and it felt okay on some cars, but it really has, you know, done a 180 here. You know, the thing is, I can say I enjoyed racing here. Now, as you see, I do get spun. I commented earlier in the video that the AI outbrakes me at that corner every time, and they clearly were faster than me, but I didn't want to give up the positions. And they spun me, and I know it's probably odd to say, but I was actually happy that they spun me, because at least they're more aggressive and they're willing to race you. You know, they would have never spun me in that manner before. I mean, they would have spun me, but it would be because they had no idea that I was there. You know, there they spun me just because I was going slow and they're trying to race me. So you know, that's more on me. But I was just happy to see that these guys actually raced, you know. So I have to say I'm very, very impressed. I really cannot say enough good things about this update. It has just completely changed my mindset on this game. Like I said, this is all coming from someone who has had the game, I don't even, like, almost over 2 years now, probably. And I haven't even had it installed for, you know, 4 months because I just didn't play it. But it is just so everything that I didn't like about the game has been, I wouldn't say completely fixed, but they're in the right direction. and they are getting to the point where this is going to be a serious contender now for PC sims, at least for me. I mean, I know a lot of people liked this game before, and I could see if you were in a league, I could see this game being a lot of fun, but I personally don't have, with my schedule, I cannot do a league. And I couldn't race the AI, so I just kind of stopped playing the game. But that is definitely going to change. You know, and the other thing, with the force feedback being so well done and with the AI getting so much better, I really am wondering if this is going to turn out to be an R Factor 2 killer. You know, if they can work on their dynamic tracks, you know, get their pit stops, you know, to, you know, where you can do a pit stop, as well as if they can get a full 24-hour clock. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still prefer R Factor 2, but the thing is, from a modding standpoint, I think more mods are going to come out for this game, and they already have, just because it's easier to understand the physics in this game and to mod for this game, where, you know, R Factor 2, I think, biggest downfall is that the physics are so difficult to understand that a lot of modding teams are moving to other games, unfortunately. So with this update, I could see that happening even more. You know, people just saying that this game actually has a lot of potential now for being a good offline simulator, and you know, the mods are gonna come out for this instead of R Factor 2. So I'll be on the lookout for that. Still a lot of hope for R Factor 2, but yeah, this is just a step up in the right direction everywhere, and I can't wait for this to come to consoles so people can get a good taste of what a sim actually feels like, as long as they're playing with a wheel, and we'll get more people in the sim racing community on PC once they find this and they catch that sim racing bug. Okay guys, now I'm going to move on to the cars. Okay guys, now I'm going to be going over all the new cars that were included. They were all tested here at Silverstone International, all at the same time. I believe it was 12:30, and they all were on the optimum track. This is the Alfa Romeo, I guess, Mito? I'm not really sure how to say it. The thing about this car is I don't see myself driving it very often, if at all. There's nothing wrong with the car, it just doesn't excite me, it doesn't make me want to drive it. You guys might like it. I think the reason it was brought into the game is, one, they have the Alfa Romeo license, obviously, and also that it does stack up fairly well against some other cars that are already currently in the game. And when this goes to consoles, I feel like they're trying to build a career mode where you can start with, you know, slower road cars similar to Forza. So I think that's the direction they're going in, and that would make sense as to why this car was brought into the game. There's nothing wrong with the car. It drives fine. It drives it's just very slow, and there's not really anything that's exciting about the car, but great beginner car if you're new to the sim. You know, it's not too fast, so it's easy to get grips on. You know, it's not gonna go crazy and oversteer on you too much. So that's the Alfa Romeo. Nothing much else to say, really. Give it a shot, but not my cup of tea. Okay guys, now we're moving on to the Audi Quattro. Same conditions, same track, different car. Here it is, you know, the Audi Quattro. The one thing I will say is it's very difficult to brake in this car. You'll see, I mean, it's like if you go over 50% brakes, you will start locking them, and you'll see me have to counter steer while I am braking, because you will just lock the brakes very easily and you will spin off the track. This is an I believe in mid-80s car, had about 300 horsepower, and it did have four-wheel drive. A lot of people really like this car. I'm not, you know, I wasn't the biggest fan. There are two different versions included in the game. There's this version, which is the road-going car, and there's also a tuned version. Has a little bit more horsepower and a lock differential. That version is a little bit easier to drive. This one is definitely, to me, the untuned road car is a lot harder to drive. I think it might be because I didn't really check the tires, but it might be because of the tires. Might have stickier tires on the tuned version. Didn't actually look. But yeah, here's the Audi Quattro. I think the sounds sound pretty good, so I'll let you guys have a little bit of a listen of the sounds. It's very, like I said, just very difficult to come to grips with on the brakes and heel towing it. Other than that, fun car to drive, you know, try it out. So here is the Nissan GTR Nismo, basically the Skyline road car. And here we go. This thing is a freaking beast. That's the only way to describe this car, is just a freaking beast. It is easy to overdrive it a little bit too much, get it, you know, just too much entry speed, and you will just, it'll slide real nice for you, but basically if you're sliding, you're not going fast. So that's not what we want, but at the same time it's a road car, so sometimes sliding them is more fun. But yes, this car is a freaking just beast. Now I think it might also be just compared to the other cars in this pack, it's easily, you know, the fastest, and I wouldn't really say it's the hardest to drive, but it definitely is the fastest car, and it's a lot of fun to drive. I could definitely see me having a lot of fun taking this around the Nordschleife, since the laser scan Nordschleife is in Assetto Corsa, and it's amazing. That I could definitely see myself doing that. I'm not one who really likes to race road cars, although this I could see myself making an exception for. This car could be a lot of fun to race against other people, or even just the AI. I usually just mess around in road cars and sims. It's not my thing really to race them, but this one I could see myself racing. Other than that, I mean, you just, you know, it feels like a, you know, the supercar killer that it is road car, you know. All-wheel drive, does have a lot of grip coming out of the corners as long as you slow down enough. Like I said, it's easy to just say, oh, I can totally brake later, and then you overdrive the corner and you slide, which, you know, isn't fast, but maybe it looks cool. But yeah, it's a fun car, and I'm gonna let you listen to the sounds because they are awesome. Okay, here's the one that I don't know if you guys are waiting for, but this was the car I was looking forward to most. The Lamborghini Miura. This car was already in the game as a mod, but I guess it's now officially licensed, and it is so much fun to drive. It's not necessarily easy to drive because it is an old sports car. Your braking distances are a lot further than you might expect, and just a little touch of too much throttle and you will spin in this car, which is great fun just to try to tame this car. And oh man, this car is so much fun to drive. I could see myself having a lot of fun with this car, just driving it around, especially once again the Nordschleife in the Assetto Corsa. Yeah, it is just so well done, and then with a car like this, oh man. But yeah, you really got to pay attention to your right foot coming out of corners, because you know it just smidgen too much, man, and you will just spin the car. It is very easy to do. Great car, really, for as you see me just completely miss the entire corner there. As you know, I was not prepared for the extra braking distance there, but you know, great car to really kind of learn heel and toe. Your braking zones are a lot longer in this car, so you have a lot more time to kind of think about, you know, how you're going to heel and toe, instead of trying to heel and toe in a very fast downshifted car where you have to do it very quickly. The shifts aren't very fast in this car, so you can learn heel and toe with this car, as well as one of the other cars that I'm going to point out later in this video. So if you don't know how to heel and toe and you want to learn, this car or the other car that I point out is a great place to start to learn. Only downside with this car is you really do need to have throttle control, or you will spin it. Other than that, this car is great. I can't wait to put in probably hours and hours and hours on the Nordschleife with this car. It's awesome. Go play with this car. So last but not least, the Toyota GT86. And man, is this car fun. That's all I can say. It's kind of just like a fun, it's more like a fun track day car, I would say, than anything. I could see racing these, especially because they're not like super cars, so you could probably race these in public servers without getting taken out as easily, because people might be able to actually drive these online in a public server, because they're pretty easy to drive, and they're fun, and they're just like a little fun car to go out and see how much you can push and how far you can push it, and it just seems to always ask for more. You know, it's very hard to get these things to spin unless you do something incredibly just. I tried very hard to get this car to spin, and of course I only had about 15 minutes of time with it, but it would not spin. I also want to mention, this is the car I would actually also want to mention for heel and toe beginners. This is probably easier than Lamborghini, because you can pretty much floor the throttle out of every corner and you really won't spin, so you don't need the throttle control. And you know, once again, the braking zones aren't as long as the Lamborghinis, but it's also not as fast, and I think it just fits this track really well. You know, you should be able to, there's not a whole lot of like really hard braking zones where you have to go from like 5th to 2nd, so it makes a big difference when you're first learning to heel and toe, you know, just going down 1 gear and then going in the corner, as opposed to going down like 3. But yeah, this car is just so much fun. I did not expect this car to be this much fun, but it is. I could drive this car all night. It's so much fun. Can't wait to play with this one more. I would definitely say the Lamborghini is my favorite from the pack, and then this and the Nissan GTR are my second favorites. It's a tie. And that is going to do it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.